When it comes to climate change, this is Britain's front line.
It's changing day by day. Things are getting worse.
Where rising sea levels threaten the Norfolk coast.
I'm an eco-refugee. I'm going to lose my house.
There are now fears that entire villages could fall into the sea.
I'm 76, so I don't know whether I'll go before my house does.
It's already happening in Haysborough, where neighbours Bryony and Nicola know they could be next, as the walk from their homes to the cliff edge gets shorter every day.
Can you tell me where your old house was?
Somewhere out there.
Out here, and now the cliff edge is creeping up on her again.
Can you feel it when the cliff starts to go?
Yes, you can feel a tremor in the house.
And what is worrying is not just us, it's the next generation.
In the future, if I have children and things like that, I won't be able to bring them to where I grew up, whereas like my mum take me to where she used to live, which is inland.
This coast has been eroding for hundreds of years, but experts say global warming is now accelerating the threat.
Really, the effects of climate change are going to become extremely strong in the coming decades as the rates of sea level rise increase quite dramatically.
Even if we manage to limit global warming, rising sea levels are going to continue to threaten our coastlines, with difficult decisions already being made about which communities are deemed worthy of saving and which will be relocated or abandoned.
How to deal with coastal communities in England and Wales is recommended in 22 shoreline management plans. These documents place each section of coast into one of 4 categories. The 2 key ones are to hold the line and protect the local community, or to let the coast retreat in what is known as managed realignment. That decision is ultimately based on whether an economic and environmental case can be made in favour of expensive sea defences or coast protection. Authorities haven't been able to make that case for the village of Haysborough or further down the coast in Hemsby. Here, Lance Martin's bungalow is the last property standing on the coastal edge after extreme weather in 2018 caused the council to demolish an entire strip. With help, Lance dragged his home back 10 metres to save it.
We've been working down here Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and you can see the results.
Then he built his own protections. It's difficult for people like Lance to see other areas defended and theirs not, but experts say difficult decisions have to be taken.
We can't afford to protect everywhere. There have been some unwise decisions made in the past about where development takes place, many of them inadvertently. Now we're seeing the science of climate change. We're recognising that that's just not sustainable in the future.
You spent 10 years on the Climate Change Committee advising the government about the risks to our coast. What were you warning them?
So we've been warning that the risks of climate change on the coast are not being properly attended to.
In other lower-lying coastal areas like Looe in Cornwall, flooding is the threat, around 12 times a year and affecting hundreds of properties. So authorities have decided to hold the line with a proposed tidal barrier that is the talk of the town.
We're literally on the front line as a point of the water is 100 yards that way. So anything that we can do to help that, absolutely fantastic, get these barriers in.
So solutions are out there if the money can be found, which is why Bryony and Nicola are now fundraising themselves. But they know time, like the rocks beneath them, is slipping away. ANUSHKA, ASTHANA, News at 10, Norfolk.